Hi there, I'm Luma. Welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. I am an energy intuitive and I make these videos for you to give you some concepts and energetic weather reports so you can help to locate yourself and navigate through these, wow, super turbulent, incredibly powerful times that we are living in right now. I'm recording this video for you today. It is February 5th, 2025. As you can see behind me, we have snow here on the coast of Vancouver Island. We usually get a little bit, not so much as other parts of Canada. But there's something so beautiful about the snow. And I know the folks who have it all winter long, maybe so hard to, not so easy to feel the beauty of it. But I would really love you to just take a moment here to feel the quiet, pillowy softness of snow and how there's a blanket that comes around us and holds us. It's so quiet. There's nothing like the peace and quiet when there's been fresh snow, you know? Alrighty. So I'll just let you be wrapped up in a warm blanket here. Well, I shared insight that came, and I just had to share it with you, about melting the heart of matter. Melting the heart of matter, okay? And the image that came is that, where are we right now? We are like ice cubes, little ice cubes floating in the ocean. Yeah, millions of us, little ice cubes, our little ice cube human hearts, yeah? And we're in the process of melting back into the oneness of unconditional love, okay? And guess what? When ice melts, when you've been frozen, if you've ever had frostbite, when it starts to melt, it bloody hurts. It really, really, really hurts, you know? We may say, and in our best intentions, I am open to love, I want to receive love, but when it actually comes in to places where we haven't felt it for a very long time, especially in the realms of matter, yeah, within our mortal realms, within our mortality, yeah, it can be very terrifying, and it can feel we feel hurt, yeah? And what are we feeling? We're feeling old, unacknowledged hurts. We are feeling, in the greater scheme of things, the heartbreak of humanity, yeah? The unresolved heartbreak of humanity, as a dear friend of mine so beautifully spoke about recently. So I'm really with that, the unresolved heartbreak of humanity, in that greater collective and historical sense, that those of us who are deep feelers, yeah, empathic, sensitives, we've been present to levels of heartbreak. Just letting you let that drop in, yeah. That are all really, I would say, too great for a human heart to bear, yeah. And yet we do, and we can, and we carry on, and life has continued, yeah? So again, come back to that being an ice cube, yeah? The heart of matter that just was so, had the experience of being so utterly broken, yeah? And I often like to think of, when all these pieces are broken, how can we hold them together? We put them all in an ice cube tray, throw some water in there, and put it in the deep freeze, and then it looks solid again. Yeah, it's like the ice, the coldness will hold it together. It creates a hardness that we needed to continue on in life. Well, we're coming into a great thaw, yeah? Where things are melting, things are revealing. We've just passed through, here in North America, February 2nd, Groundhog Day. You know, in the Celtic wheel of the year, it's Imbolc. The the time of the goddess of Bridget, where the first warm breath of spring is like a whisper that's coming to us, yeah? So to be with that whisper of warmth that's coming to you right now, yeah? That is melting, yeah? The coldness of neglect, yeah? The coldness of heartbreak, of betrayal, of disconnection, yeah? It's tender work, and we may feel so very vulnerable and so very lost. All of us little ice cubes floating in the greater ocean, yeah? But to breathe right into like the densest heart of matter, yeah? Matter, the root of that word is the mother, right? The matter, mother, yeah? Breathing into the heart of matter. Yeah. Another way to understand this is what is occurring in this awakening, in this evolutionary movement that we are in, this great moment that we are in of our mortal existence. Yeah. The fear of death, of our mortality that we live with every day in our conditioning, our beliefs, our programming. You know, as soon as the matter ceases to exist, life ceases to exist, yeah? Those kinds of belief systems, those kinds of belief systems that would are very judgmental and measuring you and punishing you if you don't measure up, if you don't follow the rules. You won't be allowed back into heaven. You won't be allowed back into the spiritual realms, yeah? A lot of that is melting and clearing away, yeah? Do those beliefs actually hold true? Do they ring true? Do they even hold solid in the presence of unconditional love? No, they melt. They melt. They melt. Okay. So that what's happening, this warm breath, again, thinking of this feeling, this whisper of the warm breath of spring coming and warming. What is it? It's that breath from the eternal realms. Our truth of our deeper eternal nature that is breathing into and through our forms, our material forms, breathing into our hearts of matter. So just pause with me here for a moment to take a few deeper breaths to feel that for yourself. That deeper eternal nature, the source consciousness from which you are radiating and emanating here, is breathing into the deepest heart of matter here in your human body, in your human form. And so what may we be encountering as this breath starts to penetrate through, starts to melt down all the beliefs of brokenness, of neglect, of betrayal, of separation, division, revenge, conflict, control, misuses and abuses of power. Yeah, that bigger story of separation, of being expelled from the realms of heaven or the Garden of Eden, from all the stories of the fall, yeah, the fall from grace, the fall of humanity, the fall of Tara, of Gaia, of the earth, yeah. These are big stories that we have been living inside of. These stories have been spinning as galaxies, actually. These stories of separation have spun into galaxies and galaxies and galaxies that are spun with these story threads of the great fall, the great separation, okay? So we're encountering those story threads that we have lived inside of. I often speak of the fabric of life, yeah? How it is literally mutating and transforming. Old threads are melting away and dissolving as new, luminous, eternal threads of light are coming through, yeah? And so we're experiencing both of these. It's very challenging to navigate. And so this is to invoke and recall and remember your divine nature, the source of unconditional love that you are, and this very tender and vulnerable time where you may feel very lost, very adrift, that you really don't know who you are or what your story is anymore on some levels, yeah? But you may just be still acting out and playing out those stories and those characters and those roles just because it's familiar, and life just keeps carrying on. But if you're having these deeper feelings, it can be very unstabilizing, yeah? Very disorienting, very discombobulating on so many levels, yeah? So it's to connect to that deeper, inner, eternal nature. In my previous video, I spoke about moving through a stargate slowly, right? From that quote of through a glass darkly, yeah? That darkness, what is obscured our eternal nature, is starting to dissolve and clear. So we may begin to perceive, not only perceive, but to feel, to breathe that deeper eternal nature here into our heart of matter. Yeah. Remembering always we have so much support here. Yeah. So much support. And when we're starting to melt these places of long held heartbreak, of like fathoms and fathoms of grief that life has been living on the surface of here, yeah, we must hand a lot of that suffering over, right, to the greater mystery, yeah, to the larger beings that are here to escort us through this passage that we are in. Yeah, they are extraordinary beings that are helping us. For myself, when I'm moving through these places of like irreconcilable grief, unresolved heartbreak that just seemed to go on forever, and it would never be felt, it would never be cared for, it would always be shut out in the cold, yeah. Bringing such great tenderness, and at times it's like, this is too much for me to bear, I must hand this over. And I see these angelic beings that look like ravens, they're beautiful iridescent black wings, and we must hand it over to those beings, the angels of dark matter, the angels of dark matter. They are luminous and glistening and glimmering and dazzling beyond what we can understand, yeah? And they may take and receive all of the diabolical darkness that we may be watching play out in the old scripts and the old stories and the old narratives, yeah? Okay, and they can receive the hurt, yeah? I always say, when we are hurt, we are very likely to hurt others, yeah? So hurt people hurt other people, yeah? It's like the agony of heartbreak is a powerful force, yeah, that's driven our histories, yeah, to try to control, to try to not feel, yeah, to try to seek justice or punishment or revenge, yeah. So all of that, yeah. Again, let's just come back and rest as our little melting ice cubes, millions of us, millions of little melting ice cubes in this great, vast sea of unconditional love, yeah. going through a slow melting process that is so gorgeous, beautiful, exquisite, tender, and intimate. Yeah. So may you savor this passage that we are in and not rush or try to push it away or want it to be anything other than it is, but to honor the great sacred moment that we're in. Allow the tears to come. And that's part of the melting. It's a gesture that I'm making that I learned when you're feeling overwhelming grief. People will do this gesture, yeah, to feel how you are held, to feel your wings, yeah, to feel protected when you are feeling vulnerable, yeah. So to simply do this gesture and to breathe, to melt, all us little ice cubes melting in the great sea of unconditional love. And to be with your experience, which is beyond words. We can't quite describe it at this moment. I'm doing my best to give you these narrations and translations here, you know, simply to be a voice that will amplify that inner voice inside of you, you know, to trust that deeper inner knowing, that deeper eternal nature, that impeccable, inviolable inner light that you are. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Links are below to reach me on other platforms. I still do one-on-one work. And warm blessings to you all. Thank you.